Well, first of all, I want to congratulate Tulsa on their season. I think in my years, over 20 years in college, I've never seen a team lose 9 seniors before and have to play one guy that played last year in their rotation, Pat Bird. So I thought their kids played extremely hard all year, and they got tougher. They learned how to battle, and they're going to be a formidable team next year. For us, I thought it was a tale of two halves. Our defense was excellent in the first half. In the second half, our offense carried us, especially Kyle Washington in the low post. But he and Jacob both had very effective games. But like I said, defensively, we were not at our best in the second half. But give Tulsa some credit. They kept playing. They made us keep playing until the end.
Okay, we'll take questions now for Jacob. If you would, raise your hand. We'll get a microphone over to you.
Jacob, I think you guys hit something like 5 of your first 7 shots from three-point range. It led for all but 17 seconds in this one. Was the plan to try to get a big early lead on this team, and then you guys went inside the second half, so did you change strategies there?
Well, coming out of every game, we always try to establish our inside game. It's just depending on how the defense is playing us, where we dictate, where we take our shots. And they were packing it in, so we got some open looks early. Oh, yeah, the second half, we just got to take what the defense gives us. You know, like if they want to pack it in, we'll shoot open jump shots. If they want to close out on us hard, we can either play downhill, blow by, or feed out, get big guys in like we did Kyle.
Jacob, just in terms of your offensive efficiency, you guys have been much better scoring the ball this year than you have in the past. I'm just wondering whether that at some level takes some of the pressure off defensively and not having to just win on the defensive end because you guys are able to score as well as you do now.
Well, we worked real hard in the offseason on our offense as a team, like also individually, but we still have the same mindset defensively as in trying to lock down every team we play.
Question over here.
Kyle, did you guys want to come out and like make a statement, not just win, but kind of make a statement with how you won today because you've pointed towards the postseason so much?
Yes, we did, but we kind of want to do that every day. Every day we practice, every day we play, but, you know, that's just the way our team is. We just want to keep on proving how good we are as a team, collectively, and we just want to keep winning, you know, postseason, regular season, but definitely we had an emphasis on the postseason for sure. We want to do well and make deep runs in all the tournaments we enter.
Kyle, in a lot of ways it seems like you were the missing piece for the Cincinnati team. Does it feel that way to you, and has this fit been what you thought it would be when you came here?
Sometimes people try to spin it that way, but when Coach called me when I was about to transfer, I just wanted a place where I could be told the truth and be able to have an opportunity to compete at the highest level. So, you know, if people want to say that, that's fine. But I mean, it's been a collective group effort the whole year. People have stepped up at different times when I haven't stepped up, and I've stepped up at different times when people were absent. So, I mean, you can spin it either way. I mean, I'm just glad to be with this team because we're a great cohesive unit, honestly. And, you know, we deserve to be in these moments, and we want to be in these moments. So I'm just happy that I'm in a great place and be able to develop my game.
Jacob, a lot of teams use conference tournaments as preparation for the NCAA tournament. This team hasn't won a conference tournament since, I think, 2004, the Conference USA tournament. Is it a little more important to you guys to, you know, take down the nets here? And, I mean, obviously you want to prepare for the NCAA as well, but how much more important is it to you to get this one?
Well, we're competitors, and we want to win everything we're in. You know, whether it's a tournament where it be in the summer, it doesn't count. Like even at practice, we're competing red versus black. And then we also have 2 seniors or 3 seniors that have never cut the nets down, and we just want to get one for them.
This one's for Kyle. Kyle, what allowed you to be so dominant in the second half? 15 points, not a missed shot between field goals and free throws. Was it the game flow, game plan, but particularly in the second half, you were pretty dominant?
This may sound weird, but honestly, it was me not worrying about offense. When I try to dominate positioning and just understanding where I'm supposed to be at every time. I mean, Coach will co-sign on this like he always does, and he'll tell me all the time, when I don't worry about offense, that's when I flourish. So if I can do that every time, then, maybe I'll have that result every time. So, I mean, I just want to be focused and close a good Tulsa team out because, they could sneak up in the second half, and we just wanted to win. So I just wanted to be part of that effort.
Do one or two more for the student athletes.
Jacob, just specific to the offensive improvements you were talking about over the summer, what were the areas that you were looking at getting better at? Because when you break it down, it seems like you guys are more efficient in just about every area. What were you focused on in particular this summer?
Like myself, what was I? Well, I was just focusing on being able to be a multi-dimension player, not just being a jump shooter. Being able to attack the rim and finish through contact or draw fouls when I know I can't score.
Any other questions for Jacob or Kyle? We can get one more.
And Jacob, just in terms of your experience with Coach and, what that's been like, since he came back from this layoff, do you feel or see any sort of difference in terms of your experience with him? Do you see anything different emotionally, anything different in terms of coaching, or not?
Well, I can definitely see the hunger, and I can hear it in his voice at practice, see it in his eyes during the game, and I feel like it's starting to really carry over to us as a team, and it's putting us in that hunger mode, especially since it's March. It's really time to win.
Coach, you've been emphasizing offensive rebounding lately. I know you've been talking about it. Once again, a strong effort in that category. Can you talk about how that makes your team better, how key that is for you, let's say in the postseason especially?
Well, we try to explain to guys there's multiple ways to score, and this team we have multiple options. So first it starts with us with not turning the ball over, because then you get a shot. We have 5 guys that can make shots and score. But then it becomes, every time you get it, the more shots you get, the more opportunities you have to rebound. So we lead the country in fewest turnovers, steals against our team, which allows us to get more rebounds. We've had much better rebounding teams, but we didn't shoot the ball the way we shoot the ball. We didn't pass the ball the way this team can pass the ball. But we're trying to make sure in the last month or so that we still have the same mentality of getting 3 people to the glass, at least. Offensive rebounding is about numbers. If you just send 1 or 2, you're not going to be successful. So that's really been our something we focused on, is getting our second, third, and fourth rebounder to the rim so we have a chance to keep balls alive. There's multiple games I can tell you we wouldn't have won if we didn't have second chance points.
And Coach, just to jump off of that point,
Sure.
You've been consistently a top 15 defensive team in the country year after year. This offense is a relatively new thing this year in terms of being a top 35 team nationally. Has it changed what you need to do defensively, that, again, you're ending possessions more with made shots, and does it make it easier to find that rhythm on the defensive end?
Oh, yeah. I think what you were alluding to earlier, Kyle's a humble guy. He is exactly what the doctor ordered for our team, but Jacob as well. I said this at the American Media Day, and Gary and Troy were voted unanimous first team all-league. I said, well, if they are, we're a lock, because they struggle to be our best 2 guys in practice, because at times it's Kyle and Gary. And then, Kevin Johnson's had a great senior year, and I knew what Jaron Cumberland was capable of as well. So it definitely takes the pressure off of our defense. To be able to make runs in tournaments, you got to be able to. You're going to have a game like this tonight. The second half, our offense carried us. I think we gave up 36 points in the second half, but we scored 40. So I think you're right on the money. We're just more capable. We have more weapons, and it's just not scoring. The passing as well is skilled players. Just our talent level is a little bit higher across the board and on the bench as well.
Coach, 9 players played at least 11 minutes tonight. Can you talk about how big of an advantage that is when the goal is to win 3 games in 3 days, to have that much depth as opposed to maybe some other teams in this tournament?
Well, we all get 13 scholarships. I've always said this about the bench. You're allowed to play them. We all got guys over there in uniform. Coming in tonight, I don't know if you watched me on the bench. I kept checking the stat sheet. My goal was to keep everybody under 30 minutes because we ended this season on a Sunday. And then if we were lucky enough to end the season again on a Sunday, there's a chance you could play Thursday at noon in the NCAA tournament. So definitely was a game plan to make sure we tried to keep everybody under 30 tonight going in. But I will tell you, my message to our team all week has been the key to our march are the guys that do not start, because we have really good players. They're younger. Trey Scott, Nasir Brooks are freshmen. Justin is a sophomore. Obviously, Jaron's, I think he won 6th man of the year in our league. He's a freshman. So, I keep telling Quadri he won a game for us, and he's going to win another game for us. So you got to try to keep those guys engaged. You got to practice, and you got to develop those guys, and you got to get them some minutes. I think it's definitely important. Hopefully it'll play out, but you got to win Saturday to get to Sunday where maybe it'll matter a little bit.
Over here.
And Coach, specific to the passing that's been going on this year, Jacob, Troy, Gary, all 3 of them have significantly increased their assist percentage over last year. Is there any difference schematically that you're seeing? Is this just development of a player? I was asking Jacob about it earlier. Is there something specific that you have implemented that's led to this offensive leap forward?
Well, one is Kyle is an offense, so it's easier getting an assist when you throw him the ball. That's one. 2 would be Gary's ability to shoot the ball from the perimeter this year. So we're not a predictable team on the offensive end. We can bring our big guys out, plus they're a problem inside. And the guys, we've tried to teach the guys how to be a problem for our opponents. Some people can't struggle to deal with us inside. Some bigger teams may struggle when we invert and bring our bigger guys outside. Ball movement is obviously, you talk about it all you want, but you can't run a free-flowing offense if you don't have the talent and the guys to make decisions. You got to give up a lot of control as a coach. When we practice it all the time, I just want the ball moving, and they got to read and play together. We've been working on it since last April, but you said, well, why haven't you done that before? Well, you got to have players that can do it. You got to have 5 guys that can make shots and make decisions. And the more, that's why I thought we got a chance to get better this team, because the more you do it, the more comfortable they get at it. So we're really not we have some things that we'll do structurally, but we try to let them keep playing and read the defenses. We think that's made us harder to deal with, because you can't just load up on this or that. We don't just try to jam the ball to Kyle. If you take that away, we got way too many other ways to beat you. So I just try to teach them to read what other people are trying to do to us and then use that against our opponent. And it's a never-ending learning process when you coach that way. But I think it's going to be a huge weapon for us in March. That, and like I've told them, I want them to keep playing. Don't walk the ball up the floor and start looking at the clock and late clock. Play. It's our opinion. We have great players on our team. Let's go play. We don't want to play the game in the 50s. We think that gives our opponent a chance to beat us.
And just to follow that up, that's another thing you can do because of numbers, I assume.
Oh yeah, talent and numbers.
And collectively, you're in the tournament every year, but it seems like this team is better set up to make a deep run. When you see even a game like tonight where you talked about the defense carries you the first half, offense in the second half, does a team that's able to do that give you a better chance to make
Oh, absolutely. Because it's just like a team that's got 1 or 2 scores. If they have a bad night, you're going home. So you got to be able to dance every dance that they play to win the award at the dance ball. All right, then you got to be able to slow dance. You got to be able to do it all. Okay. So those are the teams that keep marching on. You're not going to be able to win the same way because you're going to run into a matchup that they're able to take that away from you. You got to be able to do something else. The last part of that is we have different guys that carry us at different points in the game. So Jacob gets hot, Troy early, then Jacob, then it's Kyle. Like Gary Clark he led us in blocks and deflections tonight, but he didn't really even get going offensively. In our last game at Connecticut, he was a dominant offensive player. So, You know, teams with more weapons have a better chance because they're not relying upon one way to win a game.